All right, hey guys, looking at some of the questions you guys had on the 5-6 homework. Had a couple requests for number 14, so we're going to take a look at that one. One thing I do want to point out, and I did edit the directions on Classroom. I know the directions in your book say without using a calculator. Go ahead and ignore that. I'm giving you the use of the calculator for all of it. So if that was causing an issue, feel free, just like we did in the notes, to go ahead and use that calculator. We've got that tool, we might as well use it. So we want to find the roots of this thing. Okay, so as we're looking at it, again, using that fundamental theorem of algebra, I know there's going to be 5 roots out there. We just have to find them. So I want to see, when this thing equals 0. And again, the first thing I notice is, we had one of these, one like this in the book or in the notes today. I can take out a factor of x. So let me do that. Let me undistribute or take out an x, and that should leave x to the 4th plus 3x squared minus 4 equals 0. Okay, so now what that allows me to do is to just worry about when this equals 0. All right, because again, I'm multiplying two things and getting 0. I know one of my solutions is going to be x equals 0. All right, but let's find the other 4 solutions. The other 4 roots are going to be when this thing equals 0. So let's come up with our P and Q list. And again, like we talked about in the notes, since Q is 1, I really don't have to look at P over Q. I can just look at my P list, because P over Q would be P over 1. And so my P over Q list is going to be the same as my P list, which is all my factors of -4. So positive -1, positive -2, and positive -4. My other 4 roots, the rational ones, they might all 4 be rational, or I don't know, but I know they're in this list. Okay, so just like similar to what we did, let's take a look here at the graph of this thing. Now I've cheated a little bit, and I've already got it graphed for you. All right, so when I graph this, it looks like it's got 2 real roots, and it looks to me like it's at -1 and +1. All right, let's just check that. So second trace, find the value at, let's check -1. All right, yep, that gives me an answer of 0. And then let's do it again for +1, second trace, find the value at +1, and that also gives me 0. So 2 of my, well, actually 3 of my roots. One of my roots is at 0. All right, so let's start making a list, and then we'll check it twice. So one of my roots is at 0. One is at +1, and one is at -1. But I can see here there aren't any more real roots. So I was expecting 5. I've only got 3. That means my other 2 roots must be imaginary. So how can we do this? Well, again, I've got a 4th degree polynomial. I've got 2 rational roots. I should be able to use synthetic division and get this 4th degree polynomial down to a quadratic, which then we can go to the quadratic formula. So let me do that. Now, here's what I'm noticing. They skipped x to the 3rd, and they skipped x to the 1st. So when I'm doing synthetic division, I'm going to have to fill in some zeros. All right, so here we go. So 1 for x to the 4th, and then 0 for x cubed, 3 for my x squared, and then 0 for my x, and then -4. All right, so again, you have to make sure you fill in those zeros as placeholders. Now, it doesn't make a difference which order we do these in. I'm going to do the 1 first. So I go ahead and do that, and I add and then multiply all the way through, and we'll see how this goes. All right, good. I get a remainder of 0, which is good because that was one of my roots here. Okay, now I'm going to do it again with -1. Now add and multiply. Okay, and again, I also get 0. And again, started off with x to the 4th, so this is x cubed, so this is x squared. So I get x squared plus 4 equals 0. Now, again, you can go to the quadratic formula. There's your A, there's your B, there's your C. But what I notice, again, and we talked about this, there was one of these in the notes, since I don't see an X term, that means I can just use inverse operations, including a square root, to get X by itself. So I'm going to do that. If you want to do the quadratic formula, go ahead. You should get the same answer that we're going to get here. So I get x squared equals -4. I do the square root of both sides and the square root, so that's going to be plus or minus I times the square root of 4. And the square root of 4 we can simplify to 2. So my other two roots are plus or minus 2i. So my 5 roots are positive 2i, negative 2i, 0, 1, and -1. All right, so again, fundamental theorem of algebra says we should expect 5, and there they are. All right, so just a couple things that I can see causing an issue here. First of all, taking out that x, all right, get me down to something where I can look at the rational root theorem. And when you're doing that synthetic division, don't forget about those zeros. That gets you down to an x squared, which, right now we've got several techniques to be able to solve that x squared. Okay, so here's my solution for number 14 on lesson 5-6. My 5 roots are 0, 1, -1, positive 2i, and -2i. All right, hope that helps. Shoot me any more questions that you have. Look forward to talking to you guys. Take care.